Hello, hello, hello. Oh, stay up. Sorry, Wolf. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you're new, welcome to the space. Lovely to have you here. Welcome one, welcome all. My name is Angel. In case you, if this is your first time here, today we're doing something for a wee bit of fun. Well, I think it's fun. I've spent the last few weeks reorganising, re-evaluating, and reassessing my practice. That's my spiritual practice, my beginner witch path, my tarot and oracle shelves, my deck collection, my sacred space. Did I say that? I think I did. Anyway, yeah, going through my shelves, my tarot shelves and my oracle shelves has given me a great chance to look at my collection in detail, and I've made a really great discovery whereby the things that I say that I dislike, I actually like. Yeah, I've been contradicting myself without realising it, and when I started to look a bit closer at my collection, I started to see those contradictions. So that's what we're doing today. We are doing a deck contradiction video. Yeah, I've got 5 different points on my list of contradictions that we're going to speak about. This is just for a bit of fun, as mentioned. So grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a beverage, grab yourself maybe a biscuit, some kind of snack, and let's get into it. So my first contradiction, my first deck contradiction is I prefer decks without borders. That could be said to be true. This is the Enchanted Tarot. I chopped all the borders off of this tarot deck because I didn't like them. I preferred them without the borders. I've edged mine in gold. I did this quite a while ago, and I even did the same thing with the 8 Coins Tarot. This is the way the cards used to look, with this white border around. This is an extra card in the deck, and I chopped all the borders off, edged mine in orange. Yeah, and I love them like this. Really, really enjoy them. Love it. And I've even, purchased newer decks that don't have borders, and I love them. And I started to think about that, this whole border malarkey. And then 3 other decks came into my mind, and I suddenly realised that I've been contradicting myself. And these are the 3 decks I've been contradicting myself about. I've been telling porky pies to myself, and maybe to you guys and girls as well who are watching the videos. So these are 3 mass market decks. We've got the Magic Soul Tarot, which is a German deck. We've got the Curious Creatures, and we've got the Night Wait Tarot. I absolutely love the borders on all 3 of these decks. I absolutely adore them. And I think I got this one first. And I've mentioned before that this reminded me of my, what's it called? My unicorn deck, the Baba Studios Alice deck, because the characters are stepping out of the borders. Let's flip a few cards so you can get to see. And then I purchased this one, and I was like, I really like this. Look at this. The images are kind of outside of the borders, and it almost feels like the border has been like put on top of of a landscape almost. It feels like, with all of the cards. I love that. It's like, it's not just like an image. It's almost like it's a living, breathing landscape. That's the only way I can explain it. And it's the same with this one, for instance. We've got the character, coming out from the border. I love that. And so I suddenly realised that I've, been contradicting myself, and I'm a porky pie teller. How do you feel about the borders? Are you a border person with your decks, or do you prefer your decks without borders? As mentioned, I've chopped borders off of decks previously. I also chopped the borders off of the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, I think it's called. The same with the Nicholas Giaccoli deck. I chopped the borders off of that one as well. So there are quite a few that I've chopped the borders off of. And one of my recent videos, I was speaking about Boadicea's Tarot. That's another one that I was umming and ahhing. Should I cut the borders off? Should I not? I don't know. And I'm going to go as far as to say that I've ordered home, and the box is wrapped because it's for Christmas or birthday, the Supernova Tarot, and that is kind of the same. There's kind of this, I'm going to pop some pictures in a wee second for you. The artwork, there are kind of borders around the artwork, and the characters, the images are kind of somehow almost climbing out of the border. I love that. And I've even ordered, because I'm a naughty girl, I think it's called the Kids Tarot. I saw it on Robin's channel, Robin's Reflections. And that's still on pre-order. It hasn't arrived home to me yet. And that's the same. The characters are like coming out of the borders. So although I kind of, I am adamant that I do not like the borders. Hello. So yeah, I'm a porky pie teller. I admit it, I'm a porky pie teller. It's all good. I'm fine with that. So I prefer decks without borders, except when I don't. So my next contradiction. Yeah, I love shiny gilding. I adore shiny gilding. This is my most favourite gilding, I think, that I've got on a deck. This is the Moon Power Tarot. Yeah, love this. I think it's amazing. It's I would say it's slightly sparkly as well. It shuffles really nicely. I have used it quite a bit, although we weren't getting along until recently. But it hasn't chipped. It's held up really, really nicely. And the gilding is really gentle on the hands. It's amazing. I'll show you a few cards in just a wee second. I've also got this one, which is a recent pre-order that came in. This is the Rainbow Skull Tarot. This is a mass market deck. I mean, check out the gilding on this beauty. It's like heaven. I mean, that's just got my name all over it. Well, it hasn't, but you get what I'm saying. I'm going to flip a few cards. So I absolutely adore gilding. I love it in silver. I love it in gold. I love it in rainbow colours. I think it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I like, decks edged out the box in black, in matte colours, in lilac, in pink, in purple, in any colour. I don't mind. Until I don't. Yeah, there are some decks in my collection that have had beautiful gilding that I just have not been able to work with. Let's take a look at those decks. So I'm going to start with the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. This had amazing purple gilding on when I purchased it. It matched the backs absolutely perfectly. But unfortunately, it was so hard or so sharp on the hands, I had to chop it all off. And I was actually quite devastated because it was absolutely beautiful, and I edged it in black instead. I was so disappointed. I think I maybe even shed a bit of a tear for that, to be quite honest. This is another one that I've spoken about recently in a video. This is the Shadowland Tarot. I've been umming and ahhing about this deck for the longest of time, and I haven't been using it at all because the gilding is so sharp on my hands. It is beautiful gilding, but it's so sharp. So this is going to be coming off, and I'm probably going to end up edging it in black, possibly yellow. This is another gilding that is also sharp on the hands, but unfortunately I refuse to I refuse to take this off because it's so amazingly beautiful. This is the, what's this one called? The Mystical, no, what's this one called? I know this. I'm so dazzled by the gilding, I just can't think of the name. I think it's called, is it the Mystic Mondays Tarot? I'm not sure. But I mean, look at this. I'm not taking the gilding off this one. But, let's flip a few cards for you. Not that they're going to pair together nicely, but you kind of get the drift. Yeah, so what can I say? I love shiny gilding. I absolutely adore it in all the colours and all of the rainbow. Except when I don't. So for that reason, that is another contradiction. I'm a porky pie teller. I admit it. So this one is a great example of the next contradiction. I adore, I love decks that kind of, they go their own way, that have their own system, and the Dreams of Gaia is an excellent example of that. Here we go. Here's these are the backs, and these are also gilded, which could have gone into the same category as the last one, except this gilding I can work with. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm also thinking about decks that don't stick to the original Rider-Waite-Smith illustrations, that kind of go their own way with the illustration style. This deck, it totally goes its own way. I do need to go to the guidebook for this one. But I really like it. This definitely needs a deep dive, this one. I've dipped into it here and there, but this one definitely needs a deep dive. It needs some more time spent with it. This guy reminds me of Morpheus from The Matrix. So yeah, so I really do enjoy decks that go, decks that go their own way and artwork that goes its own way, except when I don't. So these 3 decks are a great example of that. We're starting with the Hush Tarot. These are the backs. This was the Hush Tarot. It is no longer the Hush Tarot. I've edged mine in black. This is now a keyword-free intuitive oracle. Then we have the Nicholas Giaccoli Tarot. It is no longer a tarot. It is now a key phrase, keywordless intuitive oracle. I think you're seeing a theme here, right? And finally, we've got the Wildwood Tarot. There is no more. This has also become a keyword-free intuitive oracle. Now I'm going to say that this one ended up being, which I didn't realise at the time, a bootleg copy. I purchased it from a shop online, and then when I started watching TarotTube, and there was this discussion about bootleg decks and the QR code being on the boxes, that's when the penny dropped, and I realised that this one was actually a fake. So, excuse me, cutting this one up, it didn't hurt my soul. It was like, that's fine, that's all good. These two work so well as an intuitive oracle. Should we possibly focus in a wee bit? I think we should. Is that a wee bit better? Hope so. Yeah, so I love these two. Haven't used this one as much, although I have used it with some of my other like earthy decks. A Compendium of Witches, for instance, I've used it with, and I've even used it with a Tarot of Strange Branches. I'm only flipping two decks. Why is that? Because I'm talking and I can't coordinate my movements with my mouth. What's that all about? Let's do that. Love this. Just, FYI, when I cut the borders and the titles off of the Hush Tarot, I think there was 2 images that ended up being chopped off. There was a bird image that ended up being chopped off, and another image which I can't remember. So just FYI, in case this idea kind of appeals to you. Couldn't get on with the Wildwood Tarot at all. And then when I realised it was like a bootleg copy, I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to chop all the borders off and use it as an intuitive oracle. So yeah, there's me contradicting myself. I do like decks that go their own way. I like decks that move on, or choose different imagery from like the Arduous clone, for instance. Except when I don't. So if you've watched me for any amount of time, you'll know that I absolutely adore decks with colour. The more vibrant, the better. I absolutely adore them. This is the Queer Tarot. This is the Journey to Enlightenment Tarot. And this is the Sweet Foragers Tarot. All mass market decks. I adore them all for different reasons. But the common factor is that they are all very, very vibrant, very, very colourful. And I cannot use these decks without feeling that they lift my mood. They're uplifting because of how bright and vibrant they are. And I would say that actually the decks in my collection that are colourful, I would say that category is quite saturated. I do have a lot of decks in that category. So yeah, I absolutely adore decks with vibrant colours. Except when I don't. So there's me saying that I absolutely adore decks with vibrant colours, but these 3 decks have been rocking my world. Here we have the Poesis Oracle. This is the French version. We have, this is mass market. We have the Wanderer's Tarot, which is mass market, and we have the Citadel Tarot. I'm in love with these 3 decks. I'm having a real journey with all 3 of them. This one was the most surprising, I think. I bought this one in February, I think. I just got a bee in my bonnet and I was like, I really want that deck. I so want it. And I brought it into my collection, and I've mentioned this previously. This is not an old story. If you've been here before, you've heard it. That this one elbowed its way into Daily Draws again. And it even elbowed its way into helping me focus my squirrel energy. So when I feel like out of sorts, you know, where I'm like here and there and there and everywhere, I take this deck forward and pull a card, and you know, it helps me to kind of channel the energy to where abouts in my practice it needs to be. So this one has been so helpful. So I pull cards from this daily. This sits on my altar right there daily, and it hasn't been away since I bought it. It hasn't been back in the box, which, you know, I think that's quite a compliment, I think. This one is really versatile. I've used this several times, and this is a newer deck into my collection. This is the Citadel, as mentioned. I thought I wanted to get this one for quite a long time, and then it went out of print, and I couldn't get my hands on it until recently. And since I've gotten it, I bought it with the thought in mind that I was going to use it with the Golden Tarot and even the Mystical Healing cards, I think it's called, with a specific practice which I'm not going to go into. And it's been like, wow, it's been fantastic. Just to say that, you know, although I'm saying that, you know, I love and adore decks with vibrant colours, and until I don't, it's a wee bit of a lie, because I do. I have actually edged this one in different bronzes and reds and browns. Not that that's very colourful, but you know, and this one, you know, I need to bring some colour in. So these are edged in hot purple, which I did myself. But yeah, so I do love and adore decks with vibrant colours, except when I don't. So my final contradiction. Yeah, I love a big chunky monkey of a guidebook, or a guidebook that I can really get my teeth into, something that's really juicy and gives me a lot of information. So here we have the Dreamkeeper's Tarot, and here we have the Oracle of the Dragon Fae. This is by Lucy Cavendish, this is by Liz Houston. This is my deck I use for my paternal ancestors, and I'm just going to show you a few cards of this deck first before I continue. The guidebook for this deck is absolutely amazing. It's, you know, got some really beautiful information in, some really amazing jumping off points, which I really enjoy. However, I find these cards generally very, very intuitive, and I'm not sure if that's because I do use this deck for ancestor work. Not overly sure. So yeah, I find that although, you know, sometimes it's nice to go to the guidebook to get rid of an extra meaning of the readings, I don't generally tend to need to. Let's just show you a bit of the guidebook here. So we've got the Six of Wands, for instance. We've got a black and white little picture. We've got like a key phrase, a moment of victory and triumph, and then we've got a page there, a second, you know, another paragraph, a divinatory, put my teeth in, message, and the keywords for upright and reversed. There's quite a bit to sink your teeth into there. I do love that. Although, you know, saying that, I find it's quite intuitive. Then we've got the Oracle of the Dragon Fae. This was a deck that I hadn't used particularly very much, and I used it last month for Dawn Michelle's Fellowship for the Weaver's Practice. And, you know, you've got the keyword or the key phrase, and then you've got like a bit of a jumping off point. So we've got Born Innocent here. We've got Take Action, Gentle Power, Boundaries, for instance. And I went to the guidebook, obviously, and there's quite a bit of information in here as well. You've got this little black and white thumbnail, you know, you've got the title of the card, a bit of a keyword, then you've got the characters in the card like speaking, giving you a message, then you've got, you know, some information about the characters in the card, and then you've even got a divinatory meaning and working with the characters in the card, which is great. That gives you, you know, quite a bit of information there. So, you know, I do love that. I love these decks with juicy guidebooks and, you know, things to really delve into, as well as other guidebooks that have got like esoterical meanings and things like that. All that juicy information to really sink into and possibly go down some, you know, some other rabbit holes with. Except when I don't. So to give you a bit of a visual, here we have the Unfolding Path Tarot. This is the indie version. We are looking once again at the Rainbow Skull Oracle, mass market, and this was a second-hand find on eBay. This is the first edition of the Lillifer Tarot. So first and foremost, I love this. This tells me everything I need to know. It's got a fantastic jumping off point. You know, I could say that a lot of oracles do that as well with the keywords. So I don't even need to go to a guidebook. That gives me a fantastic leaping off point to, you know, fly free with my inspiration or my intuition. So you never get there and you never stay there. Throw stuff at wall, see what sticks. If nothing sticks, hang out in the pile. So this, this is perfect for the times that I'm not in the mood for a guidebook and to, you know, dive into a guidebook with a lot of information. Saying that, this is also fantastic. This has got like really short snippets, you know, get in, get out. I love that. I bought out the Lilith Tarot mainly because I love the guidebook for the Lilith Tarot. It's a little white book. I'm kind of going to contradict myself again here now by saying that it's got so much information in it. So much information in it. Unfortunately, I dropped mine in my coffee cup because I use it so often and, you know, a bit of an nincompoop. So, for instance, we've got symbols, we've got elemental dignities, the zodiac, all the signs, planetary symbols, sacred principles, sacred colours, sacred numbers, sacred symbols, sacred creatures. We've got spreads, and then we go on to the major and the minor. And here, for instance, we've got, you know, we've got quite a bit of information, but, you know, it's like, it's short and it's snappy. I like that. I really like that. So, you know, I'm contradicting myself. I like a lot of information, but on the other end, I want it to be in a short and snappy style so I can get in, take what I need and get out. I love that. I really love that. And finally, I brought forward the Folding Path Tarot. This was an indie deck I backed on Kickstarter. I love it. I'm using it this month. This is my favourite cardstock. It shuffles like blooming warm butter. Not that I would want to shuffle warm butter. And the indie version came with like a pull-out, what's this called? Leaflet, I want to say, like a leaflet. This is perfect. This does the job when I don't want to do any, you know, in-depth reading or researching into the card. It does exactly what it says on the tin. I love it. So, you know, I love me a juicy guidebook, except when I don't. So there we have it. Those were my deck contradictions. How about you? Do you have any deck contradictions? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Now, don't be shy. Drop your deck contradictions in the comment section. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to read them, and it's always nice to chat and have a catch up in the comment section. So yes, I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with me. Yeah, have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care, and hope to see you in the next video. Toodaloo!